So I heard you made new music Friday. Well, congrats from a truck stop somewhere out on the highway. I'm out here this summer, chasing down dreams, watching the review and eating baked beans. You could say that I'm doing things my way, and it seems like for years now my life has gone sideways. But I'll keep this torve in between both the lines, break my guitar strings and scream in the mic, and offset the carbon that I oxidize, 'cause I'm trying my freaking best. My phone says I'm in midlife crisis, that Reddit thread's dead left to my own devices. I'm not making music and making new friends, in all likelihood never see them again, 'cause I'm lonely and lost and
Hey guys, I don't want to unlock the Chapman Radio computer, so sorry I didn't fade the music out because I'm gonna keep it running in the background. I'm not feeling super awesome today. Just a heads up if I'm talking a little bit slow. Can you guys hear me too? Oh wait, I just need to turn my headset up. I'm not feeling super great. I had a really great weekend in last couple of days, but I didn't really stick the landing today. I have a lot going on and I'm just a little bit overwhelmed. There's been 6 different senior events and awards and other things I have to go to, and it's been a lot. It feels like I haven't stopped moving, and also I just have 9 million finals. I have a final presentation due tomorrow. I have another one on Tuesday. I have another one on Wednesday. And then I think I have 2 on Thursday, which is great. Super, super great. It's definitely gonna be okay. That's what I keep telling myself. And then after I'm done with that, I have final exams the week after, and then right when I finish exams, it's graduation, which is crazy to think about. I can't believe that senior year is almost over. I'm actually really sad to be graduating. I mean, I've lived in the same apartment for 3 years, and I'm giving it up at the end of May, which is so sad because it's become my home. I've lived there for a long time. And it's gonna be the end of an era. And I love my apartment and I love my roommate. And it's been really great living with her over the last year or so. It's gonna be sad that that's not happening anymore. There's just also a lot of stuff changing right now. Most of my friends have graduated already, so a lot of them are either coming home or they're moving to where they're gonna live and work now that we're real adults, which is crazy. My best friend from LA, she came to visit for the weekend, and she just graduated from Michigan and she's going to Europe for a month, which is really cool. But she's lived in the same house her whole life, and that's where we always went when we were kids. And I lived at her house for a long time. I would stay over almost every night. And her family sold their house, which is really sad, because everyone's just migrating and moving around. most of my like best friends from high school are gonna be in New York, I think, and I don't think I plan on going to New York. um, so it's a little bit sad because kind of the world I had in LA isn't gonna be there anymore when I move back, which is a lot, especially when you've been friends with your friends for like 12 years, you know. But I'm really happy for everyone. Everyone's like getting great jobs and great opportunities. And it's exciting to like see everyone be able to pursue like what they want to. Cause all my friends like have busted their ass to be where they are. But it's a lot. It's very emotional. And I'm gonna miss my friends a lot. I just came from my friend Ruby's house and like said bye, and I was like, that's crazy. This is like the last time I'm gonna be here like ever because they sold it to another family. So that was emotional. Also, happy Mother's Day, everyone. If you have kids, congrats. You never know anymore. But I don't know. Mother's Day is also just actually it's not Mother's Day that's like a weird holiday. It's just my family life is like a little bit strange. I don't really talk about it. Also, my mom texted me, so let me just make sure she's not listening really quick before I speak. No, it's a photo of a restaurant for graduation dinner, which is also super stressful to be planning all of that. But anyway, my parents are not together anymore. I don't know if I've said that on here before or if like I've implied that, but my parents are not together anymore, and it's a bit weird. It's holidays are a bit strange and they're just not necessarily the same as they used to be. Sorry. My parents separated like I think this summer I was a senior in high school, like going into college, but they hid it from me for like a really long time. Like I remember my mom coming down to Chapman my freshman year and like telling me what had happened. And it had been going on for like a long time. I was like, this is like crazy that you guys didn't tell me this. But like, I don't know. I guess it's like their business. But maybe it's also my business because I'm your only child. But I don't know. Holidays are just weird. It was just my birthday. I turned 22 on Thursday. And because of my school schedule and like my class schedule on Thursdays, I have like 8 hours of class. And also on Thursday, I had my Trailblazers banquet. So it was just like my day was completely like stacked, so busy, like insane. The night before was also like the Chapman Radio Awards. And I just had like a bunch of other stuff I'm doing. I have so many projects. It's fucking insane. But because of that, I didn't celebrate my birthday with like my family. Which honestly, like the older I've gotten, the more I like don't care about my birthday. I had like a crazy like 20th birthday, and then last year I tried to throw a party and it just like didn't go didn't go well. It like I tried to have the same guy who threw it the year before throw it. He said he was going to, and then like last minute he was like it's going to cost money, and I was like how much? He was like $8,000. I was like, "Bro, no. Ain't no fucking way." And so I threw it at like a different club. But then the guy who was supposed to promote it, like, fucking didn't. And so it was just, like, my friends from school pretty much and my friends from home. And I'm also, like, a little bit suspicious that I got roofied there. Because, like, we were pre-gaming at my house, but I was, like, fine when I got to the club. And my friend bought me a shot from the bartender. Like, it wasn't, like, a bottle from our table everyone was drinking. It was, like, from the bar. And literally the second it touched my tongue, I don't remember anything. Like I woke up the next morning and I had to go volunteer and it just felt so weird because it felt like a snap and like, which I feel like you usually, or at least I don't usually feel if I like drink super heavy. Like, I feel like you still remember things, you know? It was weird. It was weird. But so this year I just like decided to have like my friends over to my place in Orange because I had so much going on. And then the next day too, I had class and I also had another banquet. So much. And it's a lot. But I decided to have my friends come like visit me, which was super nice that they offered to do that. And were like willing to from LA, and then also my friends from Orange came over. But I didn't celebrate with my family, so my dad was like, why don't we just do like birthday, Mother's Day combination celebration? I'm like, this is kind of like weird. It's like kind of weird that you guys like, they're not even divorced yet, by the way. That's like another thing. Like, this started 4 years ago. 4 fucking years ago. And they're still not divorced. Like, they just filed, like, before Thanksgiving, but I think it takes, like, a year or some shit. But I don't know. It's kind of crazy, like, going to dinner with your divorced parents. It just feels very, like, sanitary. If it... Or not sanitary, that's not the right word. It feels very sterile, if that makes sense. It's like going on like a fucking like Hinge date, it feels like. Like it's just, it's not very fun, you know, because you can't really talk about much besides like facts going on, you know, like there's no like joking around or like having a good time. It's just like, oh, how's work? Good. How's school? Good. How are the dogs? Good. Like that's kind of the gist of what's going on whenever we all get together, all three of us. And it's not super fun. Also, it's my parents just have a very like strange dynamic, and also the other thing is, it's not like they had a good relationship like when I was a kid. Like they always fucking fought like all the time. And they like didn't realize when I was a kid how bad that is to do. And so we go to family therapy now. And my parents today, when we were trying to figure out where to go, my dad meant to text in a group chat with my mom and me, and he texted in a fucking group chat with him, me, my mom, and our family therapist, Anna. And I texted them separately in a group chat of just us, and I was like, hey, just so you know, you're texting in a group chat with Anna. And instead of replying to me on that thread, that was the correct one, they continued to text on the thread with the therapist. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And they were like, whoops, that's an accident. I was like, that's like super weird that you guys just kept like going though after I told you. My parents are very strange together. Like also the fact that they're just in the middle of the divorce still, like it's hella awkward, you know what I mean? Because I know they're like going through mediation and they're sorting things out, and you can tell there's like tension, you know? They can say like there's not, and they can say like, oh, we're trying to do like everything to like keep you out of it, but it's like, bro, they still like act weird, you know what I mean? They still are acting strange. So even though they're not bringing up the things that are happening, like it's still like uncomfortable. Holidays aren't fun. It's also weird because obviously, like, since my parents just separated, we spent holidays together when I was a kid. And both of my parents are immigrants, but my mom's from Canada. So, like, she's half an immigrant. But my dad's from Switzerland, and so all his family lives in Switzerland besides, like, me. And so he doesn't have anyone to like celebrate holidays with. Both of his parents have like passed away. Both of his brothers live in Switzerland. And also, like, our family's just a little whack all around. It's a little crazy what's going on with my entire family on both sides. But so he has no one to like celebrate holidays with, you know? So we'll be at like my mom's, dad's, and stepmom's house, and they'll be like, oh, should we invite your dad? And then like we'll all spend Christmas together, but they're like still like going through this divorce. It's just so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable, so much of it. And like they get pissed at each other. And like also when I'm with each one of them, they be talking shit. They're talking smack. Like they don't even realize they are either. Cause like I'll bring up something and my dad will be like, your mom always does that. Or I'll bring up something about my dad and my mom will be like, your dad always does that. And it's just like, dude, like, please, we need to release the tension. It's too fucking much. I can't deal with it all the time. It overwhelms me. Also, my dad is kind of an interesting person. I like haven't talked about my family a lot. Cause it's like, I don't know. I told my parents not to listen to this, but also I feel kind of like bad airing out their like info, but also, I mean, it's something that affects me, you know? But my dad basically, he's dating this woman who I have never met because I don't really want to, which I don't know if that's like bad that they've been together for like 4 years and I don't want to meet her. I'm guessing if you can tell by the timelines of things that I'm saying, you may be able to guess why my parents aren't together anymore. But I don't really have a lot of respect for her just because of some things that happened. And I'm not like ready to meet her. My dad keeps asking me to, but I think it would just be kind of awkward still, especially since my parents aren't divorced. My dad posted a photo with her today for the first time, which is crazy because my dad he doesn't post me on his Instagram. He'll be like, I keep like my life private. I'm like, bruh, like, come on. You can post your family once in a while. But he posted a photo with his girlfriend for the first time, which it's kind of like weird to see. I don't know. I mean, I see photos of them all the time that he like shows me on his phone and stuff, or like I see his lock screen. But it's just kind of weird for me. Also, she's younger than him. And the thing is, I am a little confused on how old she is because I swear to God that my dad told me she was like in her like mid to late 30s, but then I Googled her because she's also an actress. My dad's an actor. And it said she was like almost 50. And I was like, damn, which one's the truth? And is it worse if she's in her 30s? Or is it worse if she's 50 and lying about her age to my dad? It's strange, though, because my dad is turning 60 in August. So this woman is, like, I think closer to my age than his, if she's the age she told him. It's a bit uncomfortable. My dad also goes to this program called Al-Anon. If you guys don't know what that is, Al-Anon is kind of like the opposite of, I almost called it AAA. That's not it. It's like the opposite of AA. Like the way AA is for alcoholics, Al-Anon is for people who have been like affected by alcoholics in their life. And so my dad goes to it because he says mom was an alcoholic. But, like, I think there could have been some other things going on that were leading to issues. She was a little quirky, maybe some mental health stuff. But in Europe, they like don't really believe in mental health. Like my dad really doesn't like that I take like Adderall and mood stabilizers and like I have to take Xanax for panic attacks. I sound like a fucking like chemical bomb. I promise that like I'm prescribed things and I take the appropriate amount and I talk to my doctor frequently and I have a therapist. You shouldn't just be taking that stuff like recreationally. I just want to make that clear. But my dad doesn't like that I do all that. Like they're kind of like anti-medicine low key. My dad, he does like stunts and he did this one where he like fell off a boat, so they had him on a wire and I guess like something went wrong and he smacked the boat. Like I think he like swung and hit it and his elbow grew like a boob on it. Like it literally looked like a breast implant. And he got it like fixed one time at the doctor, but then it like came back and he was like, I'm not gonna do anything like about it. I was like, you should take like fucking antibiotics or something. Like it could turn into an infection. It's on your joint, you know? He was like, no. Antibiotics weaken your immunity in your body. I'm like, okay, like I understand that, but you have like a serious like medical issue going on that can turn into like a bigger issue. But he doesn't like that I take all that stuff. But so I don't think like mental health is ever like really something that they ever talked about. But he goes to Al-Anon because he believes that she was like a heavy alcoholic. I was like, damn, if she an alcoholic, like so am I, low-key. Like the stuff he's describing, I'm like, damn. Like if I were fucking like 80, I'd be doing that too. Like what do you mean? I don't want to be just like limping around. I'd be wanting to have like a glass of champagne in my hand. You know what I mean? But I guess it's my dad's like business if he wants to do that. But I have to say, like, there's something a little fishy about the program he's in. And I feel bad saying that because it means a lot to him. But something just doesn't feel completely quite right with all the stuff that goes on. He, first of all, joined it because of the woman he's dating, which is a little culty, I think. just slightly. But he also, he accidentally, like, butt-dialed me one time when he was in a meeting and I picked up, and it was a little scary. They were all, like, chanting things together, and it was a little strange. Can't exactly like put words to what was going on there, but it rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. He also keeps trying to get me to like come to Al-Anon and like join his group, but the thing is like I don't know, that makes me kind of uncomfortable because I mean I drink and I don't always drink super like responsibly. Like, so I'm not sure it's appropriate for me to be in there, and also I don't really think I've been affected too much by people who are alcoholics. I think I've been more so affected by other horrible things, but not necessarily alcoholism among people in my life. I don't know. Well, obviously there's a lot of people that drink in my life, but I don't necessarily think that's like the root of my issues or a reason I would need to go to group therapy. My dad kept trying to get me to go to a support group, and I like didn't want to for a long time just because I felt like uncomfortable. I mean, he also wanted me to go to a support group for something different, for like something that happened to me that I have had a hard time dealing with over the last couple of years. And a lot of my like friends suggested it too. But I never like did anything because it just felt like it was like too much to go share and like relive like what happened in a group setting. But my dad keeps trying to get me to come to Al-Anon, and I keep telling him the same thing, but he keeps pushing it. He keeps pushing it, a lot. And it's a little weird because I keep, like, for years I've been like, I don't know if that's something I want to do. And he's like, no, like, I want you to come to one of my meetings. I'm like, I feel like I'm being recruited for something. Like, it feels a little weird, like the pushiness of it. But also my dad's he's a little bit of a weird dude. Love him, but there's something a little bit emotionally off with him, I would say. Also, since he's joined this group, like, he's changed a lot. Like, his personality has just, like, he's become better in certain ways, but he also, like, he just acts a little weird. It's a little strange. It's my friends who have been around him all have said the same thing. It's almost like he's kind of like a robot. Like, I was talking to my mom about this, because, like, if you couldn't tell by, I'm turned to the side, but if you can't tell by my eyes, I was crying for a couple of hours before I came here. That's why my eyes are purple and swollen, not looking super cute. But it's sometimes, like, my dad does stuff, but it seems like he's not doing it because he understands why he has to. He's more just doing it as, like, an executive function. Does that make sense? It feels like he almost just knows what to do. Like, he's, like, almost programmed, if that makes sense. Like one of those fucking Tesla robots. Like, but there's not a lot of, like, emotion behind it. Like, he'll text me a lot, but, like, just kind of like, hey, just want to check in. How are you doing? I'm going to the gym. Good seeing you yesterday. Like, it's just kind of, like, cold. It feels a little bit weird. There was also, like, a really, really long period where he, like, would not say, like, I love you. Like, we'd be on the phone, I'd be like, oh, like, all right, love you, like, bye, and he'd be like, bye. And I was like, bro, come on, like, please, you can't do that. Like, that's so cruel. And it's, yes, I can laugh about it, but it is something that obviously affects me to some extent. It's also, I've been in therapy for a very long time. I think I started going to therapy when I was like 15, and I just turned 22. So it's been 7 years. Lots of money. But because of it, I kind of know how to work through a lot of my emotions. And it sucks because I still feel things really heavily a lot. But I know why I'm feeling them. But it sucks because it's like, I feel like I'm pretty emotionally intelligent. And also because of, like, my major, I'm a comm major, like, we study, like, people and, like, why they do what they do and, like, stuff like that, you know? I feel like I know a lot about my emotions and myself as a person, and it sucks because I know all these things, but that doesn't mean that that doesn't resolve them necessarily. Like, I've been in therapy for a long time, and I can talk through these things and understand why I have certain issues that are linked to my relationship with my family. But I don't necessarily have the ability to just shut them off. You know, it's not like, oh, like, good, I know why I feel this way now, I can move on. Like, that's not a super realistic thing. I think some people can do that, but that's not the situation for me necessarily. I have a hard time, like, with just certain things because of my relationship with my parents, and it sucks, and I feel like everyone has certain issues because of their family, and people don't talk about it a lot. because I don't think it's, like, a lot of people think it's, like, inappropriate, which, like, honestly it is, like, sorry. But, I mean, I share a lot about my life on here, and I think it is important to talk about things that people don't necessarily feel comfortable to talk about, because I think there's a lot of things that people may feel alone in, and so it's, like, good to know that someone else is going through the same stuff, you know? But divorce is hard, and it's also really weird when you are in college, and especially since this happened, like, after I already left home, and also just the last couple years of me being at home were weird because of COVID, and we were on, like, super lockdown in LA. So it was, like, 2 years of being in quarantine and things being strange, and not seeing my dad a lot because of the quarantine restrictions with, like, movies and stuff, because if you left the country, they'd have to, like, quarantine you for 2 weeks. But so that was weird. Super weird vibes. Really weird seeing my dad sleep on the couch in an N95 mask. Should have suspected something was up when I saw that. But that happened, and then I went to college, and my dad left, and it was weird going home. Also, my first year of college, my mom was renovating her house, so I couldn't even, like, go home. It's weird because there's, like, certain things that were really, like, major that I sometimes, like, forget. Like, I literally couldn't go home really my freshman year at all. Our entire house was, like, torn apart. But so I didn't really have, like, a home base I could go to, you know? And also I was living in the dorms, which is obviously a lot different, like, living in a small space with a lot of people. And also I just, like, didn't have my shit together at all. And it's like hard not being able to go home, especially since my home is so close, and that's, like, a large part of the reason I chose this school. I mean, I don't think I would have if COVID didn't happen. Sorry, Chapman. But that's the truth. But it's weird coming home too, and it's like now my childhood home is just like my mom's, and my dad lives in WeHo with his girlfriend, and they live in a studio apartment, and he doesn't have, like, a room for me there. He had an apartment too, and he didn't have space for me there. I was like, this is awesome. Love. It's just so weird. Like, it feels like sometimes he's more of, like, an uncle than he is a dad. I got really, like, sad today. This is, like, I think the main reason I got sad. There's also just, like, a couple other things that happen that I don't even, like, want to give energy to or, like, address, but there was other things that just, like, made me sad. But my dad gave me a birthday card, and I opened it. And also, like, over the past couple days, I have gotten, like, the nicest things from my friends. Like, my roommate got me, like, this Skims stuff that's awesome. Like, I fucking love Skims, and that's just, like, so sweet. I didn't, like, expect her to do that. A bunch of my friends, like, brought me, like, alcohol and, like, flowers. Like, I got so many flowers, and it was so sweet. My dad did give me, like, a little bouquet of flowers, but I also got, like, a birthday card from one of my friends, and, like, the stuff he wrote was just, like, so nice. Like, he wrote over the entire, like, page, and I was like, oh my god. Like, this is, like, the nicest thing anyone has ever, like, written for me, honestly. And then to get a card from your dad that says, "Happy birthday, Bella. Excited to go shopping with you." Like, come on. Please. Please be normal. Like, that is not normal. It's so fucking cold. I don't know if I'm not, like, explaining it well. There's also just, like, a lot of other context. My dad was always gone when I was a kid. He was always, like, out of the country for work for, like, months at a time, which was like crazy. And also when you're a kid, like time passes like slower, you know what I mean? It feels weird for like your dad to be away for that long. And I think that is also something that has caused me issues as an adult. Once again, I've learned this through therapy after lots of unpacking. But because my parents were always fighting and didn't have a good relationship, and that's what I grew up with, and that's what I saw my entire life, I have issues in like relationships because I have like attachment issues, and I'm also like, look at the example that was set for me, not super awesome. It's also, I feel like bad even saying stuff like this because I I had an amazing life. It's like I'm dead. No, I'm right here. I have an amazing life, and I'm so grateful because I do love my family, and I do have a really amazing supportive family. But it's hard sometimes because like two things can be true at once, you know? You can have an amazing family and they can be great and like super supportive in a lot of aspects, but that doesn't mean that they didn't cause you issues in your life because of their relationship and the way they handled that in front of you when you were like a kid, you know? And like as I said before, everyone has like their own family shit. Like every single person does. Even if they don't say they do, they're fucking lying. Everyone's family is fucked up in some way. And everyone is probably affected by the way they were raised in some way, whether they know it or not. Like that's a fact, I think. Maybe there's some people that have perfect lives, but for the majority, most people have issues going on. And also, you know, marriage is a hard thing, and I feel like the more time that goes on and the more modern like society has become, like with just dating apps and like Instagram and everything so like accessible, like just from like your bed basically, like you can just go on your phone. And I feel like we see just a lot of like cheating nowadays with like stuff, which is horrible, but it's true. And it like also makes me sad because it's like it makes you kind of like wonder, like my mom was saying, she's like, it's so fucking hard to like date that these days for like kids your age. And I was like, I know. It's so fucking hard. And there's just like there's such like an oversaturation of like people you could have access to. And I feel like the issue is a lot of people are always like, what if I can do like better? Or they seek like validation in other people, or they're just like pieces of shit and they're like playing people, which sucks. But I feel like it is really like hard to date nowadays. I mean, I feel like in my past relationships they weren't good. They were not good. And I feel like there was also a lot of like signs that maybe I should have like seen, or things that I should have dealt with differently. And it's difficult because I like my parents were always fighting my entire life. So like for me, like it feels like that shit's normal sometimes, you know? And it sometimes feels like if things are easy that something's like wrong. Like that's kind of like how I feel right now. I like I feel like sometimes I like tweak myself out and I'm like my own worst enemy. And because of like my past relationships or like things I've been in, I have like these defense mechanisms that just immediately like go up, and I don't even mean for them to. And I'm like, that makes you look bad, and that makes it look like you're not interested in someone because you're scared of them thinking that you do like them, or that you like care about someone, because like when you've cared about other people, they've shown you that like you're just gonna get hurt in the end, you know? And I think that's what's difficult about being this age. It's also just a weird transitional time because we're not young anymore, but we're not like old enough to like settle down, so people do like fuck around a lot, you know? And it's hard because sometimes it feels like with things like, what's the point of starting something if you know it's just gonna end? And I think that's something that's I'm trying to work on, and I'm trying to move past the ways I've been hurt in the past. It's also like difficult when you have been cheated on before multiple times, and that's something that like you've experienced, and you felt how much it hurt, and you felt how much like things hurt like with your previous partner, you know? And it's weird. I also like was talking to my mom because, as I said, my dad has a girlfriend, but my mom is single, and it's obviously like a lot harder for women when they're older to get into relationships, because a lot of men that are their age are like going for like younger women, you know? And I feel like it's kind of like a similar thing. Like, guys have more access. I mean, maybe that's not necessarily true. I have access to a lot of things. I just don't have like interest in a lot, like it's like I like being with like one person, you know? I don't need to like hop around. That's made me feel like shit in the past. But it's easier for men because I feel like they think more like on the spot, you know? And also I think they just think more like sexually, you know what I mean? Like they more like will go when opportunity calls, which is a scary thing. I want to find my mom a boyfriend, but I don't know if that's something that she's open to. I also want to find her a boyfriend because I have to fucking move home for the summer, which I'm not looking forward to at all. I love my apartment. I love living with my roommate. I love having my own space and being able to just chill and not be bothered if I don't want to be, and I like living with someone that's my age and I can talk to her about anything. Like, my roommate is my best friend, and to be honest, me and my mom don't get along super well when we live together. We it's also like the other thing with my family is like, obviously because my dad was gone so much while my parents were married, like that's hard on my mom, and she wasn't working, so because she had to fully like take care of me, you know? And so that caused a lot of dependency of her like on me, and now especially since my dad like is gone, it's like kind of a lot sometimes just being home and trying to just like sit on the couch and like read something on my phone, and she's like telling me a bunch of things. I suggested to my mother that she gets an Adderall prescription. I think my mom has like pretty bad ADHD. Like, you know how people can just like talk in a circle? Like, I kind of do that, but she does it like really bad. And like sometimes also I'll be like, Mom, I genuinely have no idea what you're telling me right now because you gave me no context about what you're talking about. Like, absolutely zero context. And it's kind of like frustrating sometimes because she'll yap your ear off. And I'm like, Mom, I literally do not know what you're talking about. Like, please at least tell me if you're gonna like have me sit here and listen to this like 20-minute story. Like, please. It's also like just because she was a stay-at-home mom, her job was being my caretaker, you know? And when I'm a kid, that's like amazing, but obviously I'm not a kid anymore. Like, I'm 22, I've been in college for 4 years, I'm graduating, and like, I want privacy, you know? And also, our house is really tiny, and it's kind of difficult because from every, like, corner of the house and every part, like, you can kind of yell and you will hear the other person, so you can be summoned at any moment, which is not my favorite feature of the home. I do love my home, though, and I love where I live, and I'm very grateful that my mom lives in such a great area, but I'm not really looking forward to losing the sense of independence I have now, and also, like, not having my school life really anymore. That's kind of a little bit scary, but I know it will be okay. It's just insane that it's all coming to an end so soon. I am very, like, grateful for the last year I've had here because I think I met a lot of amazing people. I didn't have the easiest time in college, and by that I don't mean academically. I'm killing it. Not to be an asshole. But just, like, with social things and some other stuff that, like, I've kind of mentioned on here briefly, but it's a little hard to talk about. I, like, dealt with a lot of stuff with Title IX. And, like, because of it, I almost dropped out of school because it was, like, really emotional and, like, stressful and just, like, scary. You know, like, it's scary having to get, like, a no contact order against someone and knowing they're going to be on campus and you can see them, like, out in public, you know? And I think I also had a hard time with friendships because of that, because it kind of, when something like that happens, some people, like, kind of, you see who, like, your real friends are, you know? And I really feel like this year I found really amazing friends, and I also started getting really involved on campus, which I think has been really great for me. Like, I love doing Chapman Radio. I'm really sad that this semester is coming to an end and I won't be able to be in here every week. But I think also joining, like, I'm in Lambda Pi Eta, which is the honor society for the comm school. I love my major. I'm really good at it too, which is awesome. And it, like, it made me happy, like, feeling like I'm reaching my goals and being like, okay, like, this stuff that happened these previous years of college are, like, it's okay because you got your shit back together and you sorted it out and you got through it, you know? And I'm really proud of myself for what I've done. And I'm also in, like, Trailblazers, which is the first gen club. Am I in something else? I'm in CARES. That's the other thing I'm forgetting. I'm in the CARES club, which we help with, like, sexual, like, safety and preventing, like, harassment and assault on campus, especially with the fraternities. But I think doing all this stuff on campus has been really great for me, and it's made me really happy, and I feel like I found a community, especially with, like, CARES, because I was dealing with a lot of stuff for a long time, and I didn't want to go to, like, group therapy or, like, talk about it because I was so tired of talking about it and, like, trying to move past it. But, like, joining CARES and knowing that I'm making a difference and, like, I'm helping people and I can, like, support people, and I can also do everything I can to make sure what happened to me won't happen to someone else. Or if it does, that's handled better than my situation was handled, which I think is really great. Also, most of my friends at school now are through my, like, clubs and classes, which is awesome because I feel like our interests are more, like, intertwined, and also it makes me focus more so, like, on school then, you know? Because I'm like, okay, we're all in class together, like, let's hang out, but, like, let's do work, you know? Which is good with how busy I am. Taking 18 credits is no fucking joke. It really is not. And also, at the start of the semester, I was doing my depression treatment for 8 weeks, and I had to go every single day. So I was super fucking busy, and now, thank God I'm done with treatment. I like, miss doing it, honestly. Like, it was really nice being in the office every day and being able to, like, talk to my doctor and my nurse practitioner and, like, just tell them what's going on in my life. But, like, if I still had that going on now, I think I'd, like, fucking die. Like, I have so much stuff going on. Like, I feel like I can barely, like, breathe. I don't know. I think I, like, cried so much today, too, because this may sound, like, crazy, but sometimes I feel like I'm too overwhelmed with everything else going on to, like, have the time to cry. Like, I almost, like, don't allow myself, and I also get embarrassed crying in front of other people. Like, I was crying in my car, I got home, and I, like, went upstairs to my room because I didn't want my mom to see me, and I, like, eventually came down because it was Mother's Day, and, like, that sounds bad, I had to be with her. I wanted to, like, be with her, you know, and I was, like, talking to her about why I was upset, which is, like, nice, because, I mean, she understands, like, a lot of the stuff that I'm going through, because she also has dealt with it with my family. She's going through a divorce, you know? But I don't know. I think the next week is going to be super stressful. I'll let you guys know on the next episode how it goes. Wish me fucking luck. But I hope everyone had a good weekend. What's crazy is I had, like, the most amazing birthday. Maybe I'll talk about that next episode. I had an absolutely great time. Me and my friends and other people had a great time. We went to my house, and we just, like, threw, like, a party there. We were gonna try to go to the bars, but they were too busy, and also it's just kind of stressful sometimes doing that shit, you know? So we just stayed at my house, and I had, like, a great time. And I felt like people really cared about me, which is always, like, a great thing to feel. Especially just because, like, my birthday's around, like, a really stressful time already, and, like, I swear, like, every 3 years my birthday falls on Mother's Day. So it's nice to see, like, people, like, care, and they, like, know how, like, crazy your schedule is, and they're like, oh, like, I'll come to you then. Like, it meant a lot. And I had, like, an amazing time, and it was chill, and it was awesome, and I had an amazing weekend with my friends. I'm pretty sunburnt on my chest right now because I spent the last 2 days completely in the sun. But yeah, that's an update, I guess. I hope you guys had a good Mother's Day if you were with your mothers. And if you listened, thanks for listening to me rant for the last hour. I know the last 2 episodes have been more fun, and I know this is a little bit more of a downer, so I apologize for that. But oh, sorry, I'll get out. Sorry. But that's it for now. I hope you guys have a good week, and if you have finals, good luck.
You rose to go.